For now, decided to just, take a break, taking next semester off, just so that I can kind of put my efforts toward health, getting healthier, getting better. With uni and everything, I feel like it might have been too much. This is like, I have to change the way I go through my day. I decided, you know what, I think I deserve to just spend some time working on myself.
What you're going through right now is like something I wish I could have told my younger self. I remember in like diploma classes being like basically suffering the whole time and like barely passing everything. There was something about like I don't want to miss out and I want to graduate on time, on age. When life hits or like when you know things aren't like going your way, it's okay to just have a break from school, because it's something that needs to be said to a lot of people out there. A lot of people, including myself, just being like, just stop for a little bit, reflect a little bit on what's happening, and like you don't have to finish school right now, find something to do, and then from there, maybe after that you figure out like school is the next best thing, then go ahead. You don't have to like always pressure yourself with the age and stuff.
100%.
Alright dude, welcome back. Well, technically we recorded last Saturday.
We did.
But I recorded an episode without you last week, which felt kind of weird, but at the same time it was refreshing for me to like do a reflection episode again. And I said on the last podcast like Uday was going through some health issues. Nothing too emotional. It's just a lot of different changes in lifestyle that you have to change.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I'm excited to see where you're going. I think by now people probably, if you watch the first episode and then you see this episode right now, you can probably see the weight loss. Like, so.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead. You have some interesting stories.
So, I was, I had to go to the hospital for a little bit. Had some health complications. Basically, my unhealthy lifestyle caught up with me. So.
Define unhealthy lifestyle. What was your unhealthy lifestyle?
I ate out too much. And I didn't do enough exercise. Yeah, that was basically it. Just unhealthy eating, and just I wasn't moving around nearly enough as I should have been. I went to I was in the hospital for a week. Yeah, it was a week. When's it? Yeah.
Was the first time you go to the hospital right after we record that episode?
Yeah. So it was. It was on that day. That's when I got admitted.
Before. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we recorded, went home, and then it was that night that I went.
So before that, you didn't know like what was going on?
No.
No. Oh yeah. So I'll put it into context again. Like, I remember you said you were feeling unwell, and everybody was feeling unwell around this time. Like winter is coming, and then flu season is coming, and we recorded the Surrounded by Idiots episode, and you were like breathing pretty hard, and I was like just concerned at that point, but we managed to pull through, thank God. And then I sent you back home, and then you just didn't get back to me, and then you were admitted that night.
Yeah.
All right. So you can explain from there.
Yes.
Like from that episode.
So then I was admitted into went to the hospital, got admitted, got my stuff checked, and they were like, "Yeah, you're a little bit fucked. So we're gonna have to keep you on hold, bro. I'm sorry about that, G." Because I went to the ER, and I thought that in my head I feel like I could have gone back home that night. That's what I was like going into. Right, expecting, I was like, I'll be back home in like a few hours, right? They'll fix me up, whatever, right? But then I didn't even think about the fact that I would have to stay, right? So I was like, when they told me, you're gonna have to be here for a while, I was like, for fuck's sake, man, god damn it. But yeah, I was, they moved me to the ICU, and I was in there for a few days. Bro, ICU was wild, man. ICU was crazy. I'm not sure how many of you if you've had any experience with visiting or being in the ICU at a hospital, but the ICU is in the intensive care unit, right? So it's for people that are like really, really, really sick, and it was the ward that I was in, the ICU ward that I was in, was like mostly filled with like really old patients. Right, people that couldn't really like support themselves, like their body like couldn't support themselves, and so it was the first night at the ICU, and my nurse asked me, "Can you stand up and can you like take a piss, or do you need a catheter?" Right, and
at this point, did you already know like they told you what you had, or
yeah. it was at that point they were still like they told me what I had, and they like were figuring out like treatment and shit like that, right? And the entire time I was laying in bed. Like the entire time I was laying in bed. So I hadn't like moved for like 2 nights. And the nurse asked me, right? By that time they were like if I needed to have a catheter put in. Right? And I bro,
for people that don't understand like what a catheter means and like what it does, like explain that a little bit for them.
Basically, if you can't go take a piss by yourself, a catheter does it for you. You know, they put a tube through, and then
through the pee hole, yeah.
Through the fucking pee hole. Yes. And
how deep does it have to go in?
I don't know about that, but I'd assume
or like just the tip.
I don't know. I mean, but even no, bro. It like listen. The moment he said the word, I don't know, bro. I was like, I got every fucking ounce of strength that was possible inside my body, and I got the fuck up. I was like, no fucking catheter. Help me stand up. I'm gonna piss in the jug, bro. Ain't no way nothing's coming near my fucking pee hole, bro. Yeah. So. Yeah, that was the first time I stood up, like, while
in the ICU.
Yeah, and I was like, hell no, bro, get me up right the fuck now. Yeah, man. Fuck.
Oh man. So what did you feel, man? Like when they first told you like diabetes, like what went through your head? Because you're like 19, 20, bro. It was like to 20, get it. To get it at like this early age, it's like.
Well, they didn't know what they don't know what type I have first.
Yeah, at first, yeah.
Yeah. They still don't know. So we need to wait for that. I kind of just accepted it. I mean, like, yeah, I don't know. I think at that point I had already thought a lot, like while I was in there. Like I'd already been like, you know, because that's like all I could really do. So when it was like confirmed, I was like, yeah, all right, makes sense.
Yeah, and it's really surprising and a good thing to know that you accepted it really, really quick, because a lot of people will probably be like, why, and like, is it really that bad? And like, what was the number thing that indicated you had diabetes? Remember you said like the
my A1C, yeah.
And
your A1C is the amount of sugar in your blood. So it's your blood sugar over the span of 3 months. It's like the average blood sugar over the span of 3 months. Mine was way too high. The average person is between like 4.9. It's like 5 and 7. Not 7, sorry, 6. It's like 5 and 6, and that's where your it should be. And mine was like fucking 14, so it was
exactly.
Yeah.
But you've brought a very interesting point with the catheter thing, is that no matter what your body goes through, the mind is really, really something else, bro. Like something as like just so random. When I remember hearing you talk about it, you just proved to me whatever that I've been reading on this book called How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. Essentially what that book is, this author Dale Carnegie, he talks about everyone's different experience with how to stop worrying in life, you know, and everyone who's went through even worse than us, right? They're going through war, they're going through like cancer, they're about to die in 2 weeks. But the second you shift your mindset and how that changes your whole body, and it also affects your whole body, is mind-blowing. Because the fact that you were like, no, you ain't putting this shit in my pee hole, and you just got up instantly. It's like living proof in my eyes that like changing your mind can really, really change your whole body. You know, one of my recent experiences would be, I was worrying a lot about like things going on in my life, that I started worrying about things, and the physical part of it that affects me is I don't feel like eating. And like it really tells you like your mind can really affect like the whole regulation of your body and like how it changes. And I just didn't eat for like, not didn't eat, but I just couldn't eat properly for probably 2-3 days.
Yeah.
Like I'll just eat one piece of bread at night and I'll be full.
Mm.
Like that's the amount of worry that goes through my head.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just love the fact that like you're telling me this guy is about to put a catheter and you just won't accept it, and you change the way your body literally just got so much energy that you had to get up and pee in a jug.
Yeah.
And the nurse looking at you was probably like, "Oh shit! Like what's happening right now?" Was he surprised?
Yeah. He he was a little surprised for sure. Then basically I was getting pumped with insulin, right? Because that's what my body needed. My ketone count was too high. I'm sorry, I know there's a lot of words going around that you might not understand. Don't worry. But insulin is the hormone that is released by your pancreas when you intake carbs and sugar. That's it's what carries your glucose into your muscles and shit.
Yeah.
I believe
Something like that.
Yeah. So after I was getting pumped with insulin and glucose and stuff, I started getting my energy back. When I did start getting my energy back, I was like the only fucking ICU patient that had the ability to walk myself over to the toilet, right? With like the help of the nurse. Like the nurse would take like my fucking lines and shit, and I should just wait outside by the door, right? And while I do my thing, but like I remember walking through like the lobby in the ICU to go past to get to the toilet, right? And all the nurses like stopped working the computers, looked up and just stared at me as I walked back because they were like, "Why the fuck is an ICU patient walking to the toilet, bro?"
Yeah.
It was actually funny. It was
And
so
like how
fun.
big you are, you're just coming out like in the middle of the night, just
Yeah. Yeah, it was funny. But then so I was in there for a few days. Eventually I got a lot better. I got shifted to the ward, and then I was only there for a few days before I got discharged.
Yeah. And then I wanted you to explain or like talk about like the lifestyle changes that you have to make, because we talked about it in the previous episode with Anna as well. Anna brought a very good point of like she came here with a graphics designing engineer, graphics designer degree, right? And then she did some pastry stuff over here, and then now she's in like content creation full time, and you really don't know where life will lead you. Yeah. And like explain to people, because you told me the changes that you're gonna make and like the semester break and that kind of thing with uni.
I mean, like, listen, I think for now I've decided to just take a break from uni as well. I'm taking next semester off just so that I can kind of put my efforts toward health, getting healthier, getting better, and it's just going to give me some time to get used to the way I have to regulate myself as well throughout the day. And I thought that with uni and everything, I feel like it might have been too much. Yeah. And I've already been like studying pretty non-stop for like a while now already. So I was just like, you know what? Let me just, because this is like I have to change the way I go through my day. So, I decided, you know what? I think I deserve to just spend some time working on myself. And so the next semester I have taken it off, and I mean, plus with like this and work and stuff, anyways, I'll be able to focus on that as well.
Yeah. What you're going through right now is like something I wish I could have told my younger self, because I remember in like diploma classes being like, I was basically suffering the whole time and like barely passing everything. And there was something about like I don't want to miss out and I want to graduate on time, on age. Yeah. That I just couldn't stop. And when life hits, or like when things aren't like going your way, and you still have other things that you're doing, right? Like for example, you're still doing this podcast, you still have other stuff you're doing with your friends, and then you're trying to find work. It's like, it's okay to just have a break from school. Yeah. Yeah. Like at the end of the day, the degree only gets you so far still, And it's the experience within the degree that matters, and it's the experience that you get within like after this. When you're gonna take the semester break, then you're gonna experience a lot of different things in life. I think that is like you can't replace that, man.
Yeah.
Just can't replace that. And I'm glad like you knew, like you already know at this point. Like I didn't have to tell you. I didn't like no one had to tell you. You already knew at this point, because it's something that needs to be said to a lot of people out there, man. A lot of people, including myself, just being like, just stop for a little bit, you know, reflect a little bit on what's happening, and like you don't have to finish school right now, or you don't have to go to school again. Like just find a course, find something to do, and then from there, maybe after that, you figure out like school is the next best thing, then go ahead. But you don't have to like always pressure yourself with the age and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. For, no, 100%. 100%. Yeah, man. I think, you know, sometimes people just forget. They get so caught up in everything, right? It's like, it's okay to just give yourself a break. That's all right.
That includes myself, man. I think a lot of people, it's hard to stop. And
there's also a lot of factors that go into it, right? Like,
yeah, of course. There's a lot of different factors.
Pressure doesn't just come from one thing, you know, it comes from a lot of places. Whether it could be school, but also family, you know, family pressure is a big one. Especially for like, you know, international students, I'm sure. That's probably one big area that pressure can come from if you're overseas. And you know.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely felt like I had to do well. And to be honest, you should, because like you're spending that much money.
Yes.
And your parents have like basically took that investment for you. But if you are going through like really, really crazy shit, because you can't plan things, right? Things happen. Maybe health things happen, like family passes away or whatever it is. You can't plan this shit, and like if you have to go back and like settle things and make amends with things, then go back and make amends with those things, you know. Yeah, hope it goes out to everyone out there. You're not alone. All of us go through the same shit, trust me. Like he is doing in his degree right now, and like he gets diabetes. I'm going through a lot of like family stuff, not problems, but just like I wish I could go back and stuff. And it's okay to take a break. Like as of right now as well, I can proudly tell everyone like I'm stopping the job hunt for like a few months, just because I know I have to fly back to Singapore for a little bit to see my grandma, who passed away already. And if I get a job within like the next few months, I know I'm gonna be here for like a year at least. And like I just wouldn't be able to go back, and like I wouldn't be able to like make amends with people that I love. So I'm like, you know what? I have a job right now. It's not my ideal job, but it still gives me money. I still have the people that I love around there. It's okay. Like just spend a few more months there. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. And if I have to go back home and like settle some stuff, then do that. Like don't pressure yourself too much about the job, because a job is always replaceable. My dad said like you can always find something else with money. There's always something else. When you reach to a point of desperation, you will always find something. But if you have like your family passing away, or like you have to fix certain things with like your brother, your mother, or whoever it is, go back home and fix it first, because you can't like redo that shit. So yeah, that's just where I'm at right now. So I think if we bring us back a few years ago, when I went through something similar like you, right? So I have a thing called tinnitus. Do you know what tinnitus is?
It's eye stuff.
Nah. So tinnitus is like ringing in your ears when it's quiet.
Sorry, I was thinking of the line shit.
The line. Oh yeah, that's eye floaters. Yeah, eye floaters.
Oh.
Yeah, I have eye floaters as well. So, yeah, a lot of shit in my head. So I had tinnitus at age probably 15. 15, right? So when I started to fall asleep, I think that night, like probably what happened was the electricity went out, and then the fan couldn't be turned on. So obviously it's really hot. It's hard to sleep in Singapore. But the thing that bothered me the most was how loud it was. Like, because all I hear is ringing. If we kept quiet right now, it's there. The ringing is still there. Like I can find a noise thing that basically really lets you hear the exact frequency for you. But it was so loud because it's the first time, and like you can't unhear it, you know, like because your brain is like focused on this shit. And I was like crying and like, what is happening? And I went to my parents' room, and they're all like, "Nah, it's okay, nothing's wrong." And after like an hour, like,
Yeah.
no, like I can still hear the ringing. It's fucking loud. For everyone who knows what tinnitus is, like we are the people who need to sleep with like a white noise. We are the people who need white noise to sleep. Like I can't sleep if there is no noise. So any house that I go to when there's no fan, no nothing, I get like, I'm like, no, please, can you just play some noise? Like this is mad.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So essentially, that's what it essentially is. So after that night, the next day, instantly, my when your dad tells you to go to the hospital, you know it's time to go to the hospital, right? When your Asian dad tells you to go to the hospital, it's time to go.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So we did go to the hospital, and then they referred us to the ears, nose, throat specialist.
Mm-hmm.
So again, right, like you said, you thought you were just gonna be there for like just the night and just chill out. And I'm like, okay, maybe he's just gonna check my ears, check my nose, cool. After like 10 minutes of just checking me and making sure like everything is alright, he's like, it seems like you have sinus, and that may be affecting your ears. So sinus is like there's mucus built up in your nose, right?
Yep.
Which is essentially in my family, a lot of people in my family have it, and like it's probably hereditary. What's the word? In our genes, right?
Hereditary,
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was fine, but the doctor was like, okay, Hamka, we need to take this tube and we're gonna put it through your nose up to your throat all the way down. And I'm just looking at him like, what? 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 Wait. What did you say? You're gonna fuck my nose all the way to my throat. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, so we're gonna put some anesthesia thing so like you don't feel any pain, but it might cause you some disturbance, you just can't move. And I'm like, is there any way I can back out of this right now? Like, I don't want to do this. Like, no, we have to do this now. So bear in mind, alright, when this thing goes in through your nose, through your throat, you're not allowed to like move. You can't do that because then you'll start hitting things and then you're gonna destroy everything. So I'm already pressured at this point, right? Like I'm just here as a 15-year-old boy, like my ears are just ringing.
That's
you expect like maybe like a spray for your ears or something.
or some shit. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but this guy wanted to put like a whole fucking camera tube up my nose.
What the fuck?
And I'm like, okay, calm down. Okay, fine. We have no choice. We'll do it. Put the anesthesia in, and I'm like, okay, cool. Starts putting it in. This part was like, I don't know if you've tried this, but like you can pick your nose all the way here, and then you can go in slightly deeper, and there's a smaller gap in somewhere over here.
Yes.
And you can feel it like push through. Even with your finger, you can do it. So this guy put it through, and then he went deeper there, and you're like, this thing is just blocking your whole thing, and you can feel it going down your throat. And I'm just there. You know what I did? I started laughing. I was just there like. And then he slowly retracted it back out. It's like, Hamka, if you're gonna laugh even more after this, I'm gonna destroy your voice throat. Your voice box is gonna be destroyed. Take this seriously, you understand? I'm there like I'm a 15-year-old kid, like I can't. I'm trying not to laugh. I'm trying not to laugh.
Bro, thank God one of your boys wasn't in the fucking room with you.
Oh my God, bro, they would be fucking making fun of me. They would be making fun of me, like getting nose fucked in by the throat. Oh my God, dude, it was such a weird experience, but funnily enough, nothing helped.
Nothing helped.
Nothing helped, bro. See, the thing with whatever that you're going through, I'm like sort of glad that you know what you need to fix.
Yeah.
But the things that I went through, right? Migraines, tinnitus, eye floaters are the things that you just have to change your mind. There's no other way to fix it because like I'm going to keep getting a lot of mucus. I'm going to keep getting like sinuses. So because I have so much mucus built up on my nose, it also goes to like the tubes of the ears. Then that's why there's a lot of like ringing for me. And the only thing that you can do is just change your mindset to be like, don't focus on it. And like eye floaters as well, right? Your eyes deteriorate as you go on in life and you can't do anything about it. And it does help because like, what else can you do at that point, right? Like, if it doesn't help, then just suck it up and just fucking move on.
Yeah, like,
but it took me years, man. It took me years to like accept it. Yeah, that's why when you said you accepted it, I'm like, oh damn, that's pretty quick. Like,
I mean, like, listen, I was there. I was just like, I can't really be upset about it, can I? Because
But that's the thing, like, not everyone goes through that mindset, because even I can't be like that, you know?
No, I don't know. I was like, fuck it. You know what? It is what it is. You know,
Yeah.
I gotta go home. I want to get home. Right, that was my number one thing. I was like, I need to someone needs to get these fucking IV lines out of me, and I need to go home.
You brought a good point.
That
because
was like,
I think people, or like what we humans need, like we need like a level of desperation to get out of it.
yeah.
And like for me, it took years of like just accepting, like, what else can you do? Like, just get up and just keep moving. And as I kept doing that, like, it just got bearable. And I found alternatives, like listening to rain noises, all that kind of things.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, then if I have to wear rain noises, like use rain noises, what's so bad about it? Like, it is what it is. You know, it's sort of like wearing glasses, right? The first time you wear glasses, you're like, like, is my eyes like totally fucked right now? Like, I have to wear glasses.
Yeah.
But like, what can you do? Like, just move on. Like, it's okay, you know? And for me personally, I don't know a lot, but like other people, I love reading like Reddit stories where like people who go through worse. When I see people who go through worse, I'm there like, okay, I have a very blessed life.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely blessed life. Like, people who are like fucking, who can't walk or like don't have feet and like they can't do all these things, and I can, and I'm just there like, okay, you know what? It's not too bad. Like, it's fine.
I guess that is something, you know, now that you're saying it, I guess that is something that not everyone can very easily accept.
Yeah, everyone has different ways of like what's the word? Like, that triggers their brain to be like, oh, you know, if only I knew, if we as humans are able to do this for other human beings, like to be able to communicate with each other specifically and be like, whatever that you tell them, and then they go like, oh, bro, we would change the fucking world. Because like, as much as you can help someone physically, as much as I can bring you to the gym, if I could just change your mindset and say the right words that make you go like, oh, and then everything just changes, bro, that's all we need.
Yeah.
Like, the disease will just go the fuck away. Yeah.
Yeah.
And after many years, now that I've lived in Australia for 2 years right now, 2.5 years, there are a lot of moments where like I want silence. I will still hear the ringing a little bit, but it doesn't bother me anymore.
Yeah.
And it's just coming from like, there's things to do.
Damn, bro.
Yeah.
Character arc glow up, man.
Yeah. Yeah. But it takes years, you know? And I'm sure a lot of people out there are going through worst. And we're in it together, man. All of us go through our own shit. And we're in it together. Wait, what's that? Spam call. There's all these spam calls in Australia, man. Right, that's enough like sad topics for now, I guess. Not really sad, but like just like going through shit.
Yeah, just going
you know?
through shit.
Yeah. I'll just restart recording this. Yeah, I wanted to talk to everyone a little bit about like Janko and Impaulsive, man, where it's been going. Because
You've been following this this trail for quite a bit for a while now.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know anything in depth about Logan Paul back then as well, and all I knew was he was kind of annoying, and he has the Japan shit going on. And then I started listening to Impaulsive, which was really, really good at the time. Like, he was interviewing Shaq, Kevin Hart, Ice Cube, like really interesting people, and he was going in that realm of like Joe Rogan, where they talk about like career shit and like just really inspiring.
Yeah.
And I really loved it. And then came the episode with Bobby Lee, right?
Yeah.
The episode with Bobby Lee,
Yep.
and then there was a lot of like, they were making fun of religion, not making fun of religion, but like Logan Paul just didn't accept like Christianity, and he was like making fun of George about Christianity and how Christianity has like destroyed him in his life and everything.
Yeah.
And then George also walked out of the podcast because he just couldn't take the jokes anymore from Bobby Lee. And now George has his own podcast talking about religion, life, and many other things, and he has brought Bobby Lee as a guest.
That was yeah. I remember I saw that and I was just like, holy shit! And then you sent it to me, right? And you were hyped as fuck about it as well.
I was so hyped that I just listened to the full podcast on video, like for that whole 1 hour 30 minutes straight.
Damn.
Because it was just such a the media scene, especially with like YouTubers and like podcasts, or like the things that culture looks at, has been very monetary and focused on like just the outlook of life. And George is someone who's religious, a very, very strong Christian, and he's managed to build a podcast that's like Christian based first, and then bringing out quote unquote his enemy, the guy that basically destroyed his career on Impulsive,
Yeah.
and then now recover it, and then make jokes with this guy, break bread with this guy, as Christians say it, right?
Yeah.
break bread with this guy, and like they actually prayed on camera together, and I was just like, is this where finally media has come? Because I'm not here trying to preach to anyone, and as everyone knows and Uday knows, I'm Muslim. I'm not trying to preach anything to anyone, but I told you, right, like off camera, at the end of the day, everyone goes through these questions of like religion, whether they believe in God or whether or not they believe in God, all these kind of things. And I just want to have these conversations online without any judgment, because you know, people say this thing, right? Don't talk about religion, don't talk about politics, don't talk about I think money or something, or like on camera.
Yeah.
But religion is such a big part of everyone's lives, whether or not you have like a following. Just the fact that you question it as humans, right? Like I love the fact that George has like brought this new mainstream of like religion plus life podcasts.
Yeah. And I mean, I think for someone who also isn't that big on religion, right? Like religion for me isn't nearly as big as it is for you. I even for someone like that, I still watch George and I have a wonderful time. Like generally, because I think anyone, even like even if you just don't believe in anything, if you don't believe in God, you don't believe in you're not religious in any manner, you can still watch any one of his podcasts, and I'm sure that you will learn something. And I'm sure that you could still be very interested, because yes, he like brings that aspect of God with him into every other aspect of his life. But I think it's just like so, I don't know. There is something refreshing about it.
Yeah. It's extremely refreshing that he's bringing it back to like the mainstream media, and I think it's also the pendulum swing, right? I am no way trying to offend anyone at this point, or like any shortcomings will be from me and any good will be from God. All right, let's start from there. I remember telling this to my dad, being like, there was a pendulum swing of like religion was something that people had to learn and study, and then they start believing in things, right? They start believing in each individual religion, but then religion got to a point where like everyone was just brought up with the religion, that they just followed it. And it's been going on until like my parents' time, like 60, 70-year-old people, right?
Yeah.
But with the rise of media and a lot of social media technology, everyone is starting to ask that question again, like, why do I believe in religion? Do I believe in God? And that's a good thing. You should question, you know, and not just follow like out of like just your parents or like just cultural reasons. And that was what I went through essentially. You know, I was just following out of cultural and what traditions that my family has raised me with. And then halfway through, around 18, 19, I'm like, nah, I gotta figure this shit out myself. And I think that's what's been happening recently with media, is like everyone's going back to this pendulum swing of like, okay, let's stop. We know religion isn't bad. There are a lot of things that we disagree with, like with people in the Western society. There's a lot of things that we don't agree with, but we have to accept reality that not all religions are bad and most part of it is good. Because even someone like Logan Paul right now, he's brought like a priest/pastor on his podcast. I forgot his name, Cleve something. He was on George's podcast as well. He's really, really, really a cool dude. And the fact that he's on Impulsive to me was like, man, the media space is getting there again, like to be this like God accepting space again.
Yeah. You know what? I wanted to talk about that actually. I think it's progressing in that direction. But you know what I've also seen? I've seen a lot of people like rise against it. Like I've seen a lot of people just be like, this is just bullshit, because everyone's just got a fucking agenda to push on people now.
Yeah.
Right? And everyone's like, if they're not a believer in God, or even just like the topic of religion makes a lot of people really uncomfortable. And I don't know, I'm seeing that and I'm just like, but like, why have you like? What is it? What is it about religion that makes people so uncomfortable, or in like the Western world mostly, especially? What is it that gets them to start hating for like no reason?
I think
don't know,
we can bring one point that I would definitely love to talk about is this the whole like gay marriage and like LGBT stuff, right? And I think we all know what the Bible or the Quran says about these things.
Yeah.
And that's definitely one huge part of like within the Western society plus religion that's hard to blend in and hard to accept. And we have like Christian denominations that accept gay marriages and stuff, and they have their own like interpretations. And that's also another thing, right? Like humans have their own interpretations on different things.
Yeah, it's a big one. It's a big one.
But it makes sense, right? When you're living in this our generation of like everything is already there for us, and everything is like very clean cut. If you buy meat, it's already there. You don't get to see the process of it. If you buy like vegetables, even vegetables, you don't see how grueling it is for like a farmer to like go through those whole experiences. We're very protected in that sense.
Yes.
And it's hard to accept a lot of things with like religion. And I get that. But for me, just the main point is that not the problem with religion, but the issue with a lot of people is also the fact that we treat people terribly because it is a sin. It is a sin that is stated in the Bible, Quran, or whatever text it is. Just because something is a sin, and all of us are sinners, essentially, we are made to sin, doesn't give you the right to treat someone badly at all. At all. But there's something definitely, like I'll admit, there's definitely something within that space, within that group of people that we can definitely be kinder with our words. Because look, there are people out there, like for example, let's say within sex before marriage, right? We don't treat, or I don't think you've ever seen someone who's like Christian or Muslim that goes like, oh, that person like had sex before marriage. You know what I mean? But when it comes to like gay people for some reason, and they're just holding hands or they're just eating, they're like, oh, you're gay. You know, like, like there is like, let's admit there's also a hypocrisy there, right?
Yeah, there is.
Just because something is a sin doesn't give you the right to treat people like shit. Because at the end of the day, God is the judge. What's the word? God is the one. Only God can judge us. And you're not allowed to treat people badly just because they sin. And look, at the end of the day, like all the religious texts say that we are sinners. All of us are sinners. We have to be saved, right? So just don't treat people badly. Treat what's the word I'm looking for? Every religious text has said this. Treat people the way you want to be treated, and it's very, very hard to do. Like it's really, really hard to do. It's easier said than done, even for me. Yeah. That's definitely like one of the realities that's going through right now.
Yeah, wow, damn, bro.
Yeah. But before we go, I definitely would love to say like, bro, I've been watching all these podcasts about religion, right? And they're always talking about Islam as like a separate.
Oh yeah, you want this? Yeah.
They're talking about Islam as like it pisses me off a little bit because it's been like, bro, it's been 20 years since like Islam has been like basically the 9/11 thing, right? Like Islam has been popping, all right?
It's been popping out.
Yeah,
bro.
it's been popping out. Like you could at least just get that aspect right, like what we believe in. That's it. That's all I ask for. But all they know is like for some reason the 72 versions or whatever instead of like the beliefs, right? So let's get this straight, all right? Because everyone that I listen to on the podcast, even with the Impulsive podcast, right?
Yeah.
One of the biggest podcasts, and there's a priest over there as well, right? They're talking as if like Islam is a separate religion and like we believe in something different and like we're just the Arabic religion. You know?
I think they separate they separate Allah as a different.
Yeah, it's like a
different entity.
It's like a Buddha or like a Hindu god. It's like a separate thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So let me just set the tone or like the message clear. To
you tell them, bro. You tell them.
Is that there's Judaism, Christianity, and then Islam, right? These three religions is the three Abrahamic religion. That's what we call it. And the top, literally the top G, is that one essential being, right? That God, that we don't have image, we don't have anything. It's just we know as God. So that is what Islam is. What Islam is, the belief in that we only have that one God, that we have no image, no nothing, and the messenger is the last messenger is Prophet Muhammad. That's it. So we don't pray to Muhammad, we only pray to God himself, but Muhammad is our teacher. That's it. And the word Allah means the God. That's it. It's not like a Buddha, it's not a different entity, it's just God. If you go to the Arab world, even Christians who pray in Arab would say Allahu Akbar because it means God is the greatest.
Yeah.
It's not like a special Arab, like special
I think,
Islamic thing.
I think people say people don't know what Allah Akbar means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just
People think Allah Akbar is what terrorists say before they blow themselves up.
Exactly.
That's what they know it for, bro.
So that's the thing. Like, I'm surprised that it's still happening till now, and I don't like to put it in a defensive state. And I would say,
I think it's hold on, I'm sorry, but I think it's so funny that you say in Arabic God is great, and then everyone starts running away from.
Right.
Bro, you could say Allah Akbar. If you said Allah Akbar at an airport, I am pretty certain they would come collect you, bro.
Is it Allah Akbar or Alhamdulillah, which is basically what Hallelujah means?
Right? No,
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah means Hallelujah.
So even you know that. See, let's
Right?
go, brother.
I thought, and then Allah Akbar means.
Yeah, but if I say Alhamdulillah, like in the airport, everyone will lose their shit for some reason, you know? But it's just the Arabic way of saying things. So I just want to make that clear first, alright?
Yeah.
Is that Islam is not a separate religion where it's like we're believing in this separate entity of like an amazing different some kind of God. It's the same thing. The three monotheistic religions, we are the Abrahamic root. Prophet Abraham is our main like father, and we are all praying essentially to that same being. We do have our differences with how we pray with Judaism, and then there's also a difference in like Christianity with who they pray to and who is the father. Yes, differences aside, the final being is the same.
It's the same.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear that?
Yeah.
The same.
It's not even mainly to the audience, it's just too impulsive right now, you know? It's like, listen guys,
Just
come
too
on,
impulsive.
please. That's all I ask for, right? George, I would love to be on a podcast to talk about religion and shit.
Get this Donnie on, bro. You'd have a great conversation.
Because with Andrew, with the podcast on Andrew Tate, the topic that I wanted George to go a little bit further on was like the difference in faith. Not the difference in like bad, but like how it's different, and it's okay that we're different.
Yeah.
Because we're not meant to fight each other or anything like that. We're meant to work together.
Yeah.
We have differences, that's fine. Like we still live. Like it's okay.
Yeah.
And I just wanted him to talk a little bit about that. But Andrew is also a little bit he just doesn't want to share too much about his experience with Islam, and he just doesn't want to tarnish the image of it. And I don't want to as well, but I think I have to right now because it seems like people are kind of scared of Islam because of like it's like a separate religion where it's like, oh my god, who is this Allah, like Allah, but like they're scared. Like I just don't want people to be scared anymore.
Yeah, for sure.
In the Western society at least. Yeah. Because in the Southeast Asian, like Australia and UK, like we're all pretty chill.
Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, I mean I think in the UK as well, especially.
Yeah, it's a big culture thing, man.
Yeah,
Even Central C is like, I forgot there's a few lines there. He's like, all the man, the Allahu Akbar. I'm like, okay, let's go. Let's go Central C.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun to get like to be with George and to talk about this stuff. Yeah, I think he'll be really, really interested to hear these kind of things from a different perspective.
Yeah, from yours especially. I would imagine so.
Yeah. I'll end it off with maybe something for a lot of people to think about. I have a probably controversial. Let me put you a little bit darker. I have a controversial take, which probably a lot of people would disagree with. God is God, right? I don't really know how God works, and like we can only hope for the best and pray for the best. But just like how business works, and you can't have a monopoly in business, right? If you have a monopoly, then there's gonna be like someone's gonna mess you over, someone's gonna take advantage of you, right?
Yep.
I look at religion the same way. There can't be a monopoly. If there was one, everyone's always asking this question, right? Which religion do I pick? I don't know which one to choose. Like, it's too hard. Like, I don't get why there's so many. But my thing is, there can't be a monopoly of religion. There can't be just one Islam. and then life just works that way.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
believe it should be a monopoly.
No.
I think God made it for a reason that there's a lot of different religions as well.
Yeah. I mean, and like another thing, every religion has its like ties in its own culture as well, right?
Correct.
And culture is fucking huge.
Yeah,
bro.
culture will play a huge part in
It's,
religion.
Like it's huge. I mean, but then again, I think the number one thing to like realize is that it doesn't really matter, right? I mean, if all the roads lead to the same place, why are you upset about what road you're on?
Yeah.
Just fucking do your own thing and let the next man do his thing, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Do your own thing,
Do your own thing, fam.
and then we'll
Wallahi,
all be...
Wallahi, fam. There's chunks.
But yeah.
Sounds wallahi, fam.
Wallahi, fam, I ain't doing this shit.
Oh god, yeah, it'd be fun to be. Yeah, I would love to be on Chung's podcast as well. That'd be fun
Yeah.
to see the UK side of things,
Mm.
because culture plays a huge part, right? Like I only know a lot of like Malay Muslim culture, and then there's the whole other side of UK Muslim culture. Oh man,
Yeah, bro,
I have to
exactly.
see them.
Yeah.
I have to
yeah,
see
true,
them things, man.
You got like, that's what I'm saying, man. You got like, oh my god, Bali Hindu, Indian
yeah,
Hindu.
yeah, you told me. Yeah,
See,
Indian Hindu.
listen,
Yeah, it's
man,
different.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm fucking saying, bro. Yeah, man.
yeah,
I guess I think that's a good way to finish it off.
yeah. Wallahi, fam.
Wallahi, fam.
Allah knows best, man. Allah Akbar. Hallelujah.